The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Voiced Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
Hey y'all, hey!
Hey friends, how are you? It's been a little second. This is our first time in the new year, 2023.
Ooh, 2023. So much is happening in 2023 for me though. For us, we graduated 20 years ago.
So that reunion is coming. Hopefully, come on, CRCP 03. We need to come out, fellowship. I ain't seen some of y'all in years. Years. Some of them I haven't seen since we probably graduated. Yeah. It's crazy.
I probably tried to keep myself hidden. And then my baby graduates high school.
We talked about these college acceptances that he's getting. They're rolling in.
They are rolling in.
And not just acceptances. He's getting scholarships.
He has a scholarship with every college acceptance he has been. I am super excited for him. Bam. Yes. I know Bam. Everybody remembers him as Bam Bam when that was his nickname. And he's like, please don't call me that. This is embarrassing.
Yes.
Do not say this out loud.
He will forever be banned.
He will forever be banned.
Yes. But even seeing him, what was that? Last week when we went to the movies, he is towering. He's so respectful, so confident. I love it. You did an amazing job. So one of the things,
Thank you.
So proud of him. But I was kudos, friend. You did that.
Thank you.
Did that.
I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. So all them dates I couldn't go on, I was busy raising the champ. No,
right. Exactly. She was putting in the work, and look at what it's yielding for her. That's awesome. So speaking of that, we haven't been here to do our podcast in a little second, but what's your emoji? How are you feeling in this moment?
Okay, so honestly speaking, I don't have an emoji.
Okay.
But I want to be honest. I have a meme or a TikTok or something.
Okay, cool.
So do you remember that interview? It's an interview with Issa Rae and Zendaya, right?
Yes.
And so they doing an interview, and she's like, Zendaya, how was this being a child star and stuff like that? And then Issa Rae stops and she says, I just want to know, how does it feel to wake up and just be like, damn, none of these bitches ain't got nothing on you.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that.
Yes. No, that's awesome. Especially
that's what you say.
Oh,
so it's not emoji, it's like a TikTok.
Yeah.
So I guess my emoji is just I'm happy. I'm happy.
Bad bitch emoji.
Maybe. But what's a confident emoji? I don't think that we have those.
I don't know if it's a confident one.
One that shines, I guess.
I don't know.
I probably have to look it up.
But we'll put a pin in it. We'll put up that TikTok or that little clip of Issa Rae and Zendaya. But that was though. So just know that you the shit. And
I just feel that way.
Fuck with you.
Because 3 degrees.
Yes.
All this other stuff. So
that's awesome. That's good, friend. Especially coming into a new year. Sometimes it's a reset of the things that I didn't accomplish last year. And you could be this woe is me type of person in this moment. And I'm glad that you're on the confident end. Starting off the year in a good positive mood, ready to tackle whatever comes your way. But also embrace the goodness. Like you said, the graduating of your baby boy. I don't want to say baby. He is
baby son. No, he still is baby son. I still call him baby son. He is still baby son to me. So yeah, and I guess I feel that way because December was a struggle for me mentally. And then like sometimes when you reevaluate your life, sometimes you feel like you're not where you want to be at the time. You know, like we have our own set of goals in our head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if we don't reach every single one of them, we're like, you know, second guessing or like kind of self-confident.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I had to sit down and reflect, you know, when we did this episode or to prepare for this episode. And I was like, well, how about you write out the things that were accomplished? And that's how I got that TikTok or that interviews clip, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's awesome. I feel like where you may have had that in December of like self-reflection, I'm going through that right now. So perfect time. We're sitting down trying to figure out like what we're wanting to achieve or set out for in the new year. And I think it's so important to kind of be still and be by yourself, reflect,
Agreed.
and kind of dissect like just life overall. So one of the things that me and my family did, right, I think it was on the 1st. We had a vision party, so that was a big thing. So it was my siblings, their daughters, and Cam. So it was awesome because we've done this a lot. Sometimes we've done it physically where we put these images
like
together.
A vision board?
Yeah. And then last year we did it electronically. We went through like Canva and just put it all on there. We had it as screensavers on our phone or our iPad, so we saw it all the time. This year we did another physical one. So where we put these images together. But what was different for me this time than any other year is that instead of setting these goals to achieve for the year, I'm going like quarterly. So it's like, what do I set out for the first 3 months? Because life changes. We know within our career, coming back from this break, what we're about to step into right before spring break, it's like it's not like a crunch time, but this is when we're getting a lot of evaluations. These students have been through rounds and rounds of intervention, so it's busy as
a
hell.
lot of MTSS.
You know what I'm saying? So it's busy, really busy right now, but then after March into April, it's kind of dying down. Correct. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these ebbs and flows of life, and I want to make sure that I'm in tune with that, and I'm not going to be the same person or want the same things probably as I'm, getting closer to the summertime. So I wanted to do it quarterly. So we set these goals for different areas of our life, our career, our finances, our health. For me, I put in my spirituality, also like words of affirmations and habits. And so breaking that down, and I also put scriptures to them. So it's like I'm trying to be so intentional. So thinking about the emoji for myself. It's like I'm like in a yoga pose right now. I'm like zen. Like I'm trying to like not get too overwhelmed or worked up. I want to be in the moment, but I want to put forth the effort into the next steps of what I'm trying to achieve, but not too far ahead of myself where I lose sight. So like, I'm just reflecting and trying to zen out and be as peaceful while still remaining confident and, putting forth the effort because I want to stay motivated. So yeah.
No, I agree with that. I like that. And a lot of times I think when we try to stay zen or we try to not try to achieve all our goals, we forget to say yes in certain things because our mind is so like gone whole on like I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to complete this. And certain times you can say yes to certain things that could potentially help you meet your goal, but you don't see it because you're so, does this really align? Does this really align?
Yeah, for sure.
And so sometimes you just have to let it go, let it
and
fly.
Even like saying yes, but also being confident and okay with saying no. Like that's not serving me or that's not beneficial to the direction I'm trying to put forth. Yeah, for myself.
Or
so
move forward.
Yes, for sure. So I think that it's important to identify the direction, knowing that there may be little hiccups along the way, but being focused and intentional about your actions. I feel like I'm using that word so often, but it's so sincere. I'm trying to be intentional and thoughtful with my actions. And I know when we were just talking just about this episode coming up, it's like, okay, what do I want to do differently? And I feel like we put so many sacrifices in. So thinking about Rhea being a young parent, we both were, but with Mark, you put a lot of sacrifices in place in order to achieve your goals, but also like set the groundwork for him to be as successful as he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel that way, and I think a lot of times with the the sacrifices I made, you don't have to be sacrificial, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I guess we can get more into that. But it's really funny to know about certain things or to prepare for him for college or things, because when I think about myself, like, you know, his college years, my college years were totally different than the typical college student. And so even when I hear stories about, we were, I don't know, we were up in the foyer playing at 10 a.m., didn't go to class. And I was like, I have to go to class because I have to be at work at 2 because I have to pick him up from daycare or preschool by 6 p.m.
Right.
Like, I had like a for real structured mom life. I guess you could say career corporate schedule that a person like 7 years from my age, 7 years or older would probably have.
Exactly.
So you're right. Sometimes
you start that very young.
Exactly. So that's the sacrifice that, you know, that I just had to make. And it's a sacrifice that I'll make any other time. And I'll make it again and again. Exactly. I do not 100% don't regret it.
Yeah, and I felt like that. So with the TikTok that we'll put up on our page, this young lady was talking about the sacrifices that her parents made for her and wishing that they didn't. So when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, I've done all of these things, yes, for myself, but I was motivated or inclined to do it more because I had my daughter. Like, I want her to have the same, if not better, life than I had growing up without having to worry about certain things. Like, I didn't worry about jack shit when I was younger. Like, my parents took care of her where I could just be a child. I wanted that for her, but I wanted her to have experience too. So there were a lot of sacrifices that I put for to make sure that happened. And it's like some of that I neglected myself in the process. So thinking about like my parents, like, so we've talked about with my parents passing, we had to sell their home. So in selling their home, yes. And that was a moment, but we were able to go through all of these things and clearing the house out that I found all of these pictures that my father had taken. So it was like, in different cities, monumental moments, and it's like, dang, my dad like did all of this, and I didn't even know. Like, my dad could have been out here being a photographer, where we're encouraging that in children now to really seek out their goals and like really laying or planting the seed for them to explore their creative juices. You know what I'm saying? But for him, it's like, dang, what if he didn't have to take on this postal job to take care of us and to provide, but could have lived out these dreams? So it's like now it's like, okay, looking back, like I've put forth the effort in making sure Cameron has a great life, right? I went to school to make sure I'm well within my career. It is something that I like, but it's just am I really utilizing my gifts? Am I really living out my passions? And it's like, I need to take time for that now. Like, not to say I'm neglecting her and I don't want that to come off like those sacrifices were in vain, but it's like, it's me time now, like truly. And it's so important that I now focus on myself, because sometimes I feel like, not that I resent those moments in any type of way, but I feel myself being like, I'm doing this for you. Why can't you see it? And it's like, she's not asking me to do all of this and make these sacrifices and put these things on the back burner for her. She just wants me to be happy. I'm not happy. I'm happy, but it's like to a certain limit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, I see that. And I guess sometimes that's like that survival mode. So let's go back to when your dad was taking these gorgeous photos, right? And so maybe he couldn't see that this has potential to make money.
Right.
And so all he could see, I know this makes money and supports my family.
Exactly.
So I'm going to stay right here. But he couldn't necessarily see that these photographs actually have that same potential if I would have poured more
into
it.
Even if someone could have seen, like, Charles, like, I see that you're doing this. Let me give you some insight in how to make this more profitable for you. I think even when I quit my job as a teacher, everybody was looking at me like, girl, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? Like, because in their heads, like, you got to have this job. You have to have this check every 2 weeks, every however, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
steady
income,
insurance.
Exactly, all these things.
Yeah.
So it's like, you quitting your job for what? Like, they could not fathom it. Thank God that they were like, okay, you have a plan. You want to go to school at least. You ain't just quitting your job to sit down and twiddle your thumbs. But it's like, okay, you have a plan. But like, everybody was like, no, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what if I had taken that risk and did something outside of education? What if, we talk about all the time, I want to be a writer or I want to do this. What if you really had taken that time to do that? You know what I'm saying?
I guess when I think about that, so I guess my situation is a little bit different because I didn't truly find my passion for writing until I became like a for real adult. When I used to take something, so okay, I've told you guys before, I've always kept a journal. I've been keeping a journal since I was a child, but that was strictly for myself. You know what I'm saying? To get out my feelings, because I have a lot of emotions and I don't express them very well. So that was for me to get out, my feelings. But me being able to like, maybe I can possibly make money out of this. Maybe I can write this out. That's like my adulthood, like my adult dream. I've never thought about doing it before I became a school psychologist. So I guess for me, I knew my end goal was a school psychologist career-wise. And I didn't think about the other aspects of what I can do when I'm just like thinking to myself, like, damn, Mark is like old. Not old, but he's like getting older and he's like 18 and I'm still like young. And I didn't think about that. Right. I guess sometimes I think to myself, like in my brain, I thought like I would get older and he would stay the same age because of, like we're so close in age. Yeah. But no, I didn't think about it until now. And that's fine because, sometimes you don't realize your gifts or things you're good at until later in life after experiences.
Right. And I feel like I'm good at education. I'm good with working with children, especially with our career being a school psychologist. I feel like I'm good at that, but I feel like I'm so much more than that. Yeah. So trying to seek out what exactly that is, I think that's the season that I'm in. And some of that is going to require me to be selfish and really be more in tune to myself because, I'm loving
being
my
selfish,
job.
but letting go and allowing God to catch you if you feel uneasy. So that's the part.
Sent me that. Yeah.
I want you to like let go because, like sometimes you're right. Our careers are like we literally can't let go because they're so driven in different ways.
Yes, and so demanding.
They are. But like if you're truly seeking and exploring your gifts and you have a lot, you gotta like let go.
Wow, that sounds so scary. It sounds scary.
But now you understand why your dad, although he had these immaculate photos, it's scary to venture out.
Yeah, because it's so unknown. So one of the things I wrote down on my vision board is being more present in my prayer life and really having those conversations with God and being as transparent and honest as I can be. So
do you have a prayer journal? Not to cut you off, but do you have a prayer journal?
I do have that, but it's something about me just talking to him like that's my homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do too.
You know what I'm saying? But I adopted this after the relationship with Dum Dum ended. It was like, okay, I need to get this out because everybody's not going to understand what I'm feeling. My family is pissed off. They're concerned about me having went through this breakup. It was so many areas of my life that were impacted by that.
We will talk about breakups later because
oh Lord,
we both have had Lifetime movie breakups.
But in that moment, like I took a lot of time, and it's very intimate. But in the shower, I would talk to God. I would cry it out. But it was like I was so vulnerable in those moments, and I want to like reignite that in my life and put forth that. But it's like I'm so fearful because yes, it is unknown and it's scary, but it's like what happens if I do it and it works? Like not being so in my mind by like, but it could not, and it'll be like this, and thinking about all the sad or the bad things that could happen. But what if this shit actually works? Like what if I
say
let
that
go
all the time? Like we talk about that, and it's like that whole thing. Like what if I fail? But what if you succeed?
Yes. It was one of the things of taking that leap, right? So you can fall, but what if you flew? I was like, oh my God, let's change the perspective. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I am. And some of that, like I said, where Cameron will forever be taken care of. We have a village. She has me as her primary parent. But
you would never put her in a predicament where she would not be taken care of.
Just
so
quit
that's
my
not
job.
even a thing to be like,
Exactly. That's not even an option.
Correct.
But it's like, you know how we talk about all the time, like it has to be a balance. Yeah. It's never going to be a balance. I think that is the one thing that people have to understand and trying to achieve, especially being a single parent or just being a parent in general. You're trying to juggle yourself.
It will never be a balance with
career.
No,
and it's everything is not going to get all of you. You know what I'm saying? I think
some might get 40, some might get 2%, some might get 65%. Like it will never be a full 100% on everything.
And because of that, I think that's where I am. I'm tired. I'm exhausted because I'm trying to be everything to every part of my life.
That's unrealistic.
It is, but we've existed. I think you've put up something about us multitasking. That's a trauma response.
That's definitely a trauma response. And I had to learn that myself because like, you know, I told you guys before I go to therapy, whatever. So in that trauma response, because I was trying to make sure Mark was okay, go to school, go to work, make sure I finish like in my 4 years, you know, stuff like that. So I was conditioned, or I did condition my mind to do a lot of things at the same time effectively. Yeah. But that is that's trauma right there.
That's a trauma
response. That's a trauma response. I wasn't getting sleep.
It is.
I wasn't like...
And that's the sacrifice that we make as parents. Our time, our sleep, just our self-care.
I didn't have a lot of social life.
Exactly. But it won't be a balance. And I'm okay with that now. I think before I was so hard that I have to give everything my attention on all of who I am. But now it's like I need to pour more into me so I can be great at these other things.
Absolutely.
And that's what I deserve. That's what Cameron deserves of me as her mother, is to be happy in what I'm doing and being able to explore all of these amazing traits about myself. Like I want to tap into that shit now.
And I'm happy that you mentioned that because it's, you know, you and I have talked and I had asked you before, like you have really good, you know, interior design skills. Like it's amazing.
Come on, Ella.
But her mother, I was about to say, but her mother is like amazing like that. So I say that, I'm like, you need to like see this. You need to really explore this. The reason why I state that because I know it's like in you. It's like gifts that we know that's in us, and sometimes they like we keep them hidden, but they come out even when
we're not trying. We're not trying. It comes so easy.
Yeah, it does. It comes very easy, but I can't wait till like you really see like, okay, this is my new journey for myself because I see that, you know. Education or psychology may not be the end all path off for everyone else.
Exactly.
I've said it several times. Like when I retire, I might become like a preschool librarian from 8 to 10, like something like that. Yeah. Only because, you know, like it's just, I guess now it's unrealistic for us to think like we're going to be in this job or career for like 45 years, like our parents.
See so many people that we work with, our older co-workers, or like you said, even our parents do this job for 30, 40
No, I'm
years.
not. And I am not doing that. No, when I was a teacher, and I said this before, and I will say it again. When I was a teacher in my classroom, and I was like 28, I was like, I'm not your big sister, your little sister. Teacher had me for 10 years. I'm not all of that. I'm not your teacher who had you for 20 years. I taught your mama, your daddy, your grand. That ain't me. I'm teaching probably your little brother if y'all stir steps.
Yeah, and exactly. And that's it. That's the extent of it.
And that's what I knew I had to get out of, the teaching portion because I knew it was just like a stair step to what,
and see, for me, I just got burnt out with teaching. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was exhausting. I was in a self-contained classroom with children with autism, and I loved my classroom. I loved the paras that I worked with, the SLPs, the OTs. I loved all of that. But it was like the political part of like the lack of resources,
lack of funding,
like the higher ups not really knowing what it takes to run a classroom like that, and having these like I've seen like expectations, demands. Exactly. So I was just burned out, and I don't want to get like that with school psychology because I do love it. I do love the position that we are in, but it's like that Chloe is it's time for her to do more, and I don't feel like I want to necessarily walk away. I don't want to put that out there because I need my job,
but you just want to do something different. I want to
do something different, and it's like because we are in this world of social media, being on TikTok and seeing these people to being like, I just quit my job and I went for it. And it's like, how in the heck did you just jump like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to be like, you just got to go. Yeah. Fuck it. Two tears in a bucket. That's what I say. You got to go. You just got to do it because if you don't, then you'll be wondering.
Yeah, I don't want that what
and
if.
I don't want that what if.
Yeah.
I never want that what
Yeah.
if. And the reason why I state that is because it was an opportunity when I was in my internship for, to become a school psychologist. And I didn't find an internship yet in St. Louis, but I found one in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And I was like, I guess I could move. And then I guess because I was so like thinking about my support system, like what will happen with Mark or whatever, maybe I'll stay. But even though it was Kansas City, Missouri, and we know like, I mean, they're not like the best. A part of me feels like I probably should have took that leap just to live in a different city on my own with just me and my child. And I don't want to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So like now I'm in a position to where like if I was to move to anywhere, I mean, our jobs is like they're transferable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'll go anywhere, and I won't feel so much like, like what if I don't do well or like that. So yeah.
So that's one of the things I want to do going into the new year. Focus more on me and pouring more into me.
I think so.
And so what's one of those things for you? What are you wanting to
So not only that I want to focus in and pour more into me, but I guess like this year I want to really learn how to put myself first and
You
truly
deserve
check in on, again, like you said, what makes me happy, right? And then help me understand, like, I really deserve happiness because sometimes, and a lot of times, we may make bad decisions, right, in our personal life. And because they're so horrible, we punish ourselves, not realizing that we're punishing ourselves. So I just want to be like, learn from my lessons and not try to punish myself for my lessons.
Right.
Because, I mean, my lessons or my... I don't know. I don't want to say it'll come to me because my lessons, help me grow as a person.
Of course.
So yeah, so I want to do that, and then I just want to be more open, like I said, to yes, to just like, okay, it's all right. You can say yes, and
don't be so fearful. Just
not be fearful.
Just do it.
That's
so funny that for her it's like, don't be fearful, just do it. And for myself, we like, girl, let's think this through.
That's exactly.
Let's figure out every option of how this could potentially go.
I promise you. So like, you want to know how that goes? So out of us, like I said, Chloe's like the more type A person,
Yes,
and I'm more like,
much.
okay, we can go with the flow. Sometimes like we'll go out and Chloe be like, Ria, why are you over there? I don't know. I just am.
Right.
But I say that to be like, it's funny when I hear you say, just let go, because I know you as a person, you're like, what is this? And what was this happening? What time? Did this happen
I
at
need
that
all
time?
the facts up
Okay.
front.
And who was all there? Send me 3 screenshots.
Yeah, serious. That's honestly who I am, but I'm trying to break that down and just
But I think it's
hard. It's a process.
It's a process.
So be kind and gentle with yourself.
Be kind, but don't forget, give yourself grace.
Oh yeah,
because
for sure.
sometimes it may not work out, and that's okay. And that comes in your problem solving skills. Like, okay, what did we do wrong? And then we can like figure out.
That's why this time of reflection, like looking back, not just on last year, but all the years before, and like really being able to identify, okay, this went right. Okay, this may not. How can we change that moving forward? And like just put forth better habits. One of the other things I said for myself is like, I'm gonna only be on social media for like an hour and a half a day. Is that realistic? I'm not sure, but
I'm not setting that goal for myself.
You're not really.
I'm not going to set that goal for myself.
It's so time consuming, and it takes away where I could have been working out. I could have been spending time with whoever who is important in my life. But it's like I spent this 2, 3, 4 hours, maybe not in one time, but like across the day. Like I could have been doing something more productive with my time. So that's one of the things, like the habits I'm trying to set forth, and then like putting up my phone at like 10. Like I probably don't go to sleep until like 11:30 sometimes, but like giving myself that hour or so before, where it's like
that wind
that
down
phone is not something that I'm constantly on and absorbed with.
So
right
what are you
before
doing
sleep.
if you're not on your phone?
Preparing myself for rest. I could be journaling, getting out those thoughts that I had that day that I really didn't process, maybe with that person or just something I was reflecting on. personally. But I could be doing anything. Like, I take a long time with my skincare routine.
My skincare routine
and
takes a
then
while,
another
too.
thing I saw was because I have to go to sleep with the TV on. I don't know why I
I
grew
have
up
to go
like
to sleep
that.
with the TV on too, and I'm not
that's
even
something that's consistent.
Yeah.
But so one of the things they were saying is play these affirmations on YouTube, and it's like 4 or 5 hours long. That's like, I am awesome, I am wonderful, I am this, I am that. But it's something about hearing it in your subconscious that it's like
that
empowering.
sounds like hypnosis.
It's something. And I tried it, and I actually woke up and I was like super bubbly that day. I don't know if it was just because of that.
It was hypnosis.
It was something. But just trying to put forth better habits for my life that would yield better results.
I want to do that too, and I want to be more consistent but disciplined in finishing projects that I know I have to finish.
So what's one of those?
So I do want to finish my book.
Yes.
And I want to finish the one that I've started on already. And then I kind of started on a new one. So I want to finish both of them. And I know we talked about like quarterly goals. So I guess for me, if I was to do like a quarterly goal, is that I want to like at least finish the first 2 chapters of the new book, and then to finish off the last chapter of the one I've been working on.
Now.
And then I guess the next quarter looked into like publishing, like the next steps. So,
and maybe we should have like an accountability thing, because just setting the goals and having someone be like, so how is this going? You are more inclined to really pursue whatever you set out for yourself, because you know somebody's going to be checking in and asking you questions or whatever. So
I think
not saying that it's a added pressure for yourself, but someone that you trust to be like, hey Rhea, so how are those chapters going? Kind of giving me some insight to how that is, but we can check in with each other every so often, like, hey, how are you hitting that goal?
I think I want to, that would be good for me, because I know sometimes because I'm like more free, I'm not as disciplined as I like to be. You see what I'm saying? So, and I know that it could be that this season could be like my discipline season. You see what I'm saying? So you're right. That could work out, and then that means we can counter like, hey, did you start your business?
Yes.
Did you start your interior design? Really look into that?
That would be awesome, because she sent me a master class with it, and I love that. It's just like you said, it's like I just have to get out of my own way and really just seek it out, because it is something I'm interested in. And those things that just come easy to you, I literally do it without thinking.
Without ease.
Like organization, all of that. I actually love it. I have fun with it, and most people dread it, like
me. I hate it. I hate it.
Like even like with laundry and shit, like I enjoy it. Like I like folding clothes and putting shit away. Like a lot of my friends be like, I could care less. It's a pile in my room of just shit unfolded, and I love that. I love that. But I'm weird.
I think
in that way.
You like it the way it looks. It looks orderly.
Yeah,
and it looks
like you should see my drawers. Like everything, like my top drawer is like sections from IKEA, like these little things to help you fold your clothes and keep them in like your socks, your panties, your bras, all of that type of stuff. And then like my pants and my shirts are all folded. It's so crazy.
It's the way that it looks. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But then because I want to share my life with somebody, that is going to drive me crazy if they are not like that.
So again, we have to let go.
Of contention for me.
We have to let go. We have to let go, because you can't expect him to be type A like Jesus. You. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, okay, let's just be honest. So, do you want him to be type A just like you? Like, how would that
be so awesome if we both were like
How would that be awesome?
We both had the same views about being clean and orderly.
No, not clean.
Organized.
Because you can be clean. You know what I'm saying? But orderly and organized is different. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like, okay, like bathrooms clean, kitchen clean. That's a must. But like orderly and organized. So you want both of you guys to be type A.
Would that not be fun?
No, that would
not. And then we can learn from each other on how to better that.
I'm waiting.
Because I can see, like, he didn't put this back, or the clothes basket, or the laundry basket is right there. Why are your
I'm still waiting on the fun part.
On the fun part?
I'm still waiting on the fun part.
I don't know, babe. It seems like it would be cool. Someone just as structured as me. I don't know. I don't know. That's the part of being single for as long. Like, I'm set in my ways. And that's the weird thing, even with talking about dating.
Yes, that's what it
men
is.
are also set in their ways about certain things.
Especially if
too.
they're 35
So
plus.
how do you blend that? And I guess that's where compromise comes in, and being able to let go.
I said let go.
Parts.
But like for me, I don't think it would be beneficial if him and I were both free. Because how will we get things
how y'all
done?
gonna meet in the middle?
How will we get things done?
Exactly.
Who's the adult?
I need somebody to take control.
Who's the adult?
Yes.
So I recognize that. Like somebody has to be not the adult, because I mean I'm very good at being an adult actually.
Yeah, very responsible.
But who would be the person to like, okay,
let's rein this in.
Let's put your feet on the ground a little bit.
Exactly.
Because if both
let's
of us
plant you a little bit.
Exactly. So it wouldn't work if both of us are like, yeah, let's go to New York at 2:30 p.m. Tuesday. Sure.
It'd be fun if you'd be like, sure, like, let's go. Like, everything else, Mark is thriving at school. You know what I'm saying? Y'all responsibilities are taken care of. Let's just fly out.
No money.
Y'all gonna have money. I mean, that's not even.
You speaking that into existence? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think. I just know for me, of course, certain characteristics I like of myself, I would like him to have, but I just know, like, realistically, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't.
You know yourself, so I mean, that's the most important.
Yeah. So back to like, what other things that you reflect on? Like something else that you know for yourself that you want to, dig into.
I think the big thing is taking a leap of I'm studying for a test of certification in different states. So I think that's going to be the catalyst for me achieving this dream of getting away from St. Louis. I've never lived anywhere else. It was a big thing after we graduated high school. It was like I got accepted to Tuskegee. And I was like, I'm going there. But SLU offered me the most money. So thinking about my parents, I didn't want to put that pressure on them financially. I was like, I'll just stay here. But what if I had left? How different life would have been if I would have went away. So Cameron's like, girl, like, let's go. Let's just move. And I'm like, okay, that's the only person I'm worried about. I'm sure her dad would be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? We'll make sure that they still have their time together. But like, what if I just up and leave St. Louis?
I mean, I think that's a good. Why not?
That's the thing. So it's like, I just can't say I'm leaving. It's like I have to put certain things in place to make sure that we're successful. Yeah. But because I don't want it to be a crazy move where we're struggling. Like, of course, stress for anybody is hard on your mind and your body. But like, what if I just take that leap? So that's another thing I'm putting in place. Like, I have to then pass a certain test. We have to get certified to be school psychologists in different states. So it's like, okay, let me put forth the effort in really studying and
now because we have Missouri, it transfers from a lot of different states.
I know, but not the state that I want to go to. We'll talk about that.
Okay, because I was like, it's
I've already done research.
Oh, okay, because I was just asking because I'm like, I'm certified in like 3 states, so that's how I was just
not the state that I want to go to.
No, I understand that, and I guess another thing that I want to like look more into in this like new year is new experiences. So one thing that I do want to do more of is like travel more. Now, don't get me wrong, I do travel. That's not a problem. Like, I do that, but I want to do it more. Like, I want to go to even like a road trip, and I kind of despise them, but if it's like 3 hours, 4 hours away, I'll be okay.
You're not gonna try to be in the car. Going to Texas is what, 10 to 12?
That's do me like
insane.
That. Don't do me like that.
Like, well, just catch a flight.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to be, just try to travel more monthly, even bi-monthly, like, get new experiences and things like that. And one thing I did notice that I enjoy with the new passions that I have, I guess, formed is that I really, really like art. I really like art. I really like different cultures. And I like the process of like film and stuff like that. So I want to like look more into stuff like that.
Dive more into it, research it. I think that's dope.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, a new thing of like finding things that make me happy or like make us happy, and then not only looking at that, but realizing you deserve the happiness.
Yes.
Like
and that's one of the things, I know we talked about it right before. Like, what do we want to see in each other achieve this year? And that's why I want you to tap into just what it is that makes you happy, and looking at a situation for what it is, and not thinking that it's just going to change.
Yeah.
In a certain way to fit your needs. Like, see it, like, how is it serving you in this moment? Can you deal with it? And I know some of it relates to like dating and stuff like that. I want you to be happy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Me too.
Like, I really want
that. But in order to do that, you have to get out of your own way, but not think of all of the bad things that could happen, because you self-sabotage.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yes. Before you even get your feet off of the ground. So it's like, see it for what it is. Is it serving you? Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
And if it's not, being like, okay, this isn't, you're not giving me what I need, or this experience isn't serving me at this moment, I'm taking my hands off of it. So that's what I want for you.
I think that. And then one thing that I really want for you is that I really want you to like let go. And I know that's like difficult.
Let go and let God.
Right. I know that's like difficult, and I understand that could be, you know, a scary situation. Yeah. But some fear is good because it moves us, right? Oh, yeah. So I want you to embrace that fear and let go and just see,
so I said
see what happens.
Today with my prayer time in the shower, I was like, God, make me uncomfortable so I can move. Don't allow it to be painful, because I have to speak. You have to be very detailed with God.
For sure.
Don't make it painful for me. But make me uncomfortable so I can move. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Take those leaps and be motivated to like do something different. But yeah, I just said that too. So
yeah, that's what I want you.
We'll see how God moves.
I want that for you. So yeah, so we up with new reflections. This is what we want to do for the new year. What are some things that y'all thinking about that y'all want to do for y'all new year, y'all new reflections? You know, self-reflecting. I'm all for 2023 being like being you, being the best you. So yeah,
it's me time.
It's me time.
Let's go.
That's right. So again, this is Rhea_Dakota_EDS. That's my IG. And then we are Womanology_podcast.
Exactly. And I am Chloe, yours truly _Chloe. You can see us there.
All right, friend. Let's land this plane.
That was cute. I like that.
You say that all the time.
That was cute.